here to share a very personal story today. And I decided that I will be here live, present, and show up and express just for myself. Because for the longest time in my life, I was mute. I was not speaking. I was not talking. And hence, when people asked that, what do you want? What are you feeling? I just didn't know. The depth of my emotions and the amount of awareness that I was carrying within myself, it was always so hard for me to put it into words. And yet, I tried. But even when I tried, there was always a possibility of somebody not really listening. And I remember the times, even when I was a child, to when I grew up. I remember that I was always standing in a group, in a circle, in family, within friends, in one corner and just listening. And I was always so amazed by this one or two people in the group who are like cracking jokes and laughing, and everybody is so interested in listening to their stories. But I didn't have a story to share. Or maybe I thought that my stories are not worth sharing. Maybe I thought that who would listen to my story? Why would anybody listen to my story? And that thought and that feeling stuck with me. And I started listening to the people because that was easier for me to, because I was anyways listening. But I thought that if I could not, then at least somebody else can. Somebody else can share, talk, express their emotions, their stories. Somebody else can show up for themselves. Somebody else can feel heard if I could not. And by just seeing them feeling heard, I was feeling heard too. By witnessing their journey, I was feeling seen too. By witnessing their emotions, I felt connected with my emotions too. Because we all are different, and yet we feel the same emotions, and yet we all feel fear, we all feel shame, we all feel happiness and joy. So eventually, I could find my story in everyone else's story, and I felt like heard, seen, present. And with that, I started an organization called Sonona, which is a listening community where if anybody wants to talk to, they can always find a trained listener who would listen to them, who will save space for them, so that you can just be you and share and talk and go to the depth of your own stories and emotions that you might not have been before because you were alone. So the message is also that you are not alone and there's somebody holding space for you. And now what? And now Ever since I started Sunona and we became a community in 2020, um, I was less of listening, more of talking because now I had to train people with listening. Now I had to talk to people, talk to partners. It became all sort of an organization now to run, and I did everything I could to be able to run it. And I found that I was less of listening and more of speaking, and yet there were things that I was not able to speak because I wanted everybody to feel connected. And I felt so different. I felt so weird. I felt that if I would introduce this message that I was channeling, this weird energy, this facilitation that I was channeling already, there was a very different kind of facilitation that was coming through me. And because Sununa was never a space for facilitation, it is a space for listening. I created this new space called Shaktiverse, which which became this house of Shaktis, which became this universe of Shaktis. And when I say Shakti, I mean all the fucking forms of her. So I have seen women being their most mean self. I've seen women being their most submissive self. I've seen women being their most dominant self. And all of it is what makes House of Shaktis. And the House of Shaktis has been speaking out to me so loud. It has been channeling something so weird, so crazy downloads that really go beyond what is allowed in this reality, that really go beyond the rules, the definitions that we have set when it comes to being a woman, when it comes to being a man, when it comes to being a Shakti. And and I get that we love defining things. We love putting words to, we love putting labels because it just makes it easier to compartmentalize, to box things. But the energy that I'm speaking with wants to destroy it all, wants to merge this both sides of light and shadow, that you cannot see anything as single piece in isolation, because it is not, because it is not, because it is not supposed to be seen in isolation, because it is not here in isolation, because none of us are alone even if we think that we are. Even if we think that a part of us is longing for a companionship, longing for somebody to feel seen and desired, longing that that connection, that intimacy, longing this intensity of life and living. You cannot, you cannot have it all alone. You are having it all with every fucking molecule of the planet. When something within you changes, it changes the entire world. And there's no good change or bad change because who can really decide? But just knowing that my journey is not alone. I am traveling with so many people. I am everything that I'm touching has been touched with by so many people and has will be touched by so many people. So you within you also is not alone. You within you is carrying and is made up of so much. You are literally made of the stardust. You are literally made up of planets. You are literally made up of stars. You are literally made up of everything that ever existed. And you are going to merge into everything that ever exists. So Shaktiverse is not the fight between men and women. Shaktiverse is not saying that Shakti is better or Shakti is less. Because Shaktiverse is saying that Shakti is fucking everywhere. You cannot isolate her. You cannot take it out because she is fucking everywhere. She is within man, she is within woman. She is fucking everywhere. She is this joy, this energy, this science. She's also the fall, and she's also this emotion. She's also the thought that's thinking. She's also this feeling. She's also the play. She's also the playmate. She's also the life. And she's also the life giving life, life birthing life. You cannot fucking isolate her, and that's why it's so difficult to tell that what is Shakti. I I cannot because how do I how do I how do I show you to you because you are seeing Shakti yourself. You are being Shakti yourself. You are seeing Shakti, you are being Shakti, you are talking Shakti, and this life giving energy is more than anything that you can think of and imagine because she creates tsunamis and volcanoes and she nurtures and care for you. She fucking plays. She creates the Maya and laugh. And then she just destroys the Maya and then laugh again. Because this creation and destruction, when visible to you, is also Shakti. So it is hard. It is hard to define her because she's one thing that cannot be boxed. I know the mind with that limited capacity want to box her up, want to tell her, this is what you can do, this is what you cannot, and here it is, the definition of you. And Shakti says, fuck you, fuck the definitions, fuck the rules, fuck those who tell you that there are definitions and there are rules. Fuck that shit. And go create whatever the heck you want. Go bring the floods, destroy the world, or create a new one. Go mad, or go crazy, or go. See? I know I might look high, I might look I'm drunk, but I'm not. I am high on Shakti. I am high on her. And men say that it is so hard to understand women, and I get you, it is. Because she fucking cannot be understood. She changes. She changes at the with every blink. She has already changed millions of times. How would you understand her? With your limited capacity of your mind, you cannot. You can only acknowledge her. You can only play with her and become her playmate. You can only fight, flight, or fucking have fun with her. But whatever you do, she's always there.